Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the modern day revolutionary with the Patriot Hour. Today, I want to talk about the American dream. What is the American dream? You know, we talk about the American dream. We've talked about it before. The American dream is, what is it? A house, white picket fence, 2.5 kids, the dog. Is that the American dream? Is that really what it is? Or is it something more? Is the dream that is America, that people come here from other countries, escaping the hardship and willing to travel through all of the nastiness of, the things that they've gone through to get here. Is it for that? Is that what it's about? Is that really the dream? I don't think that's really the dream. I think there's more to it than that. And I want to talk about what it really is. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get your feedback. I want your input on what the American dream really is. Like, what is it really? And hold on one sec. There we go. All right. I want your input on what you think it actually is. What you think the American dream really is. And quick shout out, Corey Macabeer, happy June 15th to you too, man. Sierra Stompum, welcome. Catherine Ramsey from Virginia, welcome. Monica Squires, all the way from California, awesome to have you. Greg Wiles, welcome, sir. Kathy Honacker, Robin Parkhurst from New Hampshire. Nicole Ferguson, welcome. Missed you, I think, yesterday. I didn't see you. Maybe I just missed you. But Dana M. Malone Melendrez, welcome. And what am up, Mike? Hello, good afternoon. Sierra Stompum, the American dream is liberty and having our constitutional rights intact. But what does that really mean? What actually does it mean? Right? What does that look like if we actually have all of that? What does it really look like, right? We talk about, should it involve you having a house, kids, car, spouse, all that good stuff? Sure, it should. But does it necessarily? No, not necessarily. But you should have those opportunities. You should have the ability and the freedom to earn those things. That's definitely a big part of it, right? You should absolutely be able to have those things, be able to get those things. If you don't, then what is the point, right? What are we actually here trying to do, right? So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. And like I said, I want you guys to help fill me in what it means for you. Okay. Nicole Ferguson was MIA for the weekend. I thought so. Let's see. What am up, Mike? All is well in Northern Virginia right this second. How's it going with you, brother? It's going good, man. Again, this evening's topic, I want to talk about the American dream. What is it, right? What really makes it, right? When you talk about America, when you talk about what America is, you're talking about, we talk about it in these ways of like, cool, you have the Constitution, which allows you, all these freedoms. We're supposed to be fairly unregulated, right? We're supposed to be free to chase our dreams, to do what we want to do, right? We're supposed to have those freedoms. And, I had this interesting conversation with somebody today, and we were talking about the police, right? And this stupid ANTIFA idea of defunding the police. And, when it comes to that, like, I actually am sort of on with that, but not the way they're doing it, right? I actually believe that city and state police are unconstitutional law enforcement. It should be county sheriffs. We should be, and I got in this argument the day before, we actually should be the law enforcement. We should be. Me and you. We should be law enforcement. We should be enforcing the laws of the country. What I said to this guy I was talking to today, we were talking about, okay, so if somebody comes up to you and attacks you in the street, you should be able to knock them to a jail cell until their trial. Cool. That's how it should go. If you see a woman being attacked, it's your job to go stop it. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be that this should not be the thing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to record it. Let me record it. Oh my God. And you're not involved. Like that's not cool. That's not America. That's not what this country is about. This country is about vigilantism. That is 100% what this country was founded on. It was founded on you and me doing law enforcement. You and me taking care of each other. You and me knocking out bad guys. You and me taking care of our community. You and me taking care of our neighborhoods, our families. It's supposed to be connections. It's supposed to be people connected up to each other. And that is how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this so disconnected thing that we have today. It's supposed to be about community, togetherness, right? That's the American dream. It's about being connected up with your community, being connected up, having a family, your family being connected up with other families. It takes a community to raise a child, right? That idea. And yet that isn't what we do. We depend on the police state. Anybody who thinks we don't have a police state currently is blind or crazy. We have a police state today. That is what we have, where police are responsible for everything. They're responsible to take care of you. If it's not the police, it's the government. That's not what the American dream is. So what do you guys think the American dream is? I'm gonna look here, see if what we've got. For some ideas. There we go. Nicole Ferguson. My dream is to have the ability to do and say what I want as a free American. Absolutely. You should be able to say and do what you want. You should not be stopped. You should not be held back, right? Now, given that, everybody else has that right too, even if they disagree with you. So, if you're I don't know, pick a topic. Let's pick something stupid. If you're a Coke guy, that's your thing, or a Coke gal, and then somebody can sit there and scream in your face as loud as they want that Pepsi is great and Coke is horrible. Coke is the devil. That's true freedom. So that's the American dream. You should absolutely be doing that. What am up, Mike? I feel we are overly regulated. We are incredibly overly regulated. Let's see. Daniel Jepsum. I love this comment. The ability to get anything out of life that you're able to earn. What does that mean? This is the pursuit of happiness. You have the ability and the freedom to go out and earn shit, not take it, to earn it. That's America. America, I have the ability, and this is where we get into the over-regulation that What Am Up Mike was just talking about. We are overtaxed, over-licensed, overburdened as business people. Like, that's not America. America is about having the freedom to start a business, to be an entrepreneur, to be an inventor, to be a creator, and go out and do it. Go out and improve the world. Go make it better. You shouldn't need all these crazy licenses, have to pay all these crazy taxes just to do that. Where are the taxes even going? They're going to politicians who are trying to put you out of business. Politicians who will change the locks on your business's door, shut off the water and electric to your building, but not stop somebody from burning it down. I'm sorry. I laugh to keep from crying. These are the politicians that we're paying these taxes to. Are you fucking kidding me? Excuse my language, but are you kidding me? This is what we're paying taxes for, is so that these jagoffs can screw us like this with no lube. This is what we're paying taxes for. Their salaries, their lifetime salaries, their lifetime benefits. That's what we're doing. Let's see. What do we got? Nicole Ferguson. If I was made law enforcement, it would be like Mayberry, and I'd only get one bullet. Okay, let's see. Monica Squires, American dream, to be happy with oneself despite the hardships of life. At least that's mine. Yeah, you should be happy with what you're building. You should have the opportunity to build whatever you want to build. And then when you build it, you're happy with it, right? Because the greatest joy in life, the greatest joy that any person gets out of life is in building something. Making something, being successful, right? Success is not is not some state you're trying to get to. It's an achievement of a goal. You set a goal, you achieve it, you have success. Now you set another goal, right? That's how it works. That is how life works. You don't stop once you hit that. Like if that was it, I would have stopped when I was old enough to buy cigarettes or when I was old enough to drink. Like. End of life. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Had it. I'm done. No, you keep improving. You keep growing. You keep doing new stuff. And, you should have the freedom to do that, to do the good things, right? And to do that, you also need to have the freedom to screw up. So, Kathy Honacker, young American adult, have disdain for the U.S. and know even less about American history. Unfortunately, my niece is one of them. And unfortunately, that's a lot of people that I've been talking to. They have kids or nephews and nieces that that are out there even with these Antifa idiots. Catherine Ramsey, absolutely. It takes a village. We are the village. And we have to start realizing that. We have to start realizing we are the village. I'm just as guilty as everybody else, guys. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. I've said this before. I lived by the idea nobody else is going to put a sandwich on my plate, so I got to do it. That's what I have to be focused on. I have to focus on providing for my family and providing for myself, and that's it. I mean, like building a business, cool. I took a stretch and started doing that years ago. So, I employ people, I get people things like that, help them get money, and I'm a great salesman and I'm pretty damn good at building businesses. But that's as far as I wanted to get. Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't even vote, right? I'm not even like the guy who votes. I'm not that guy. I don't do it because my view is both sides are crooked. So why get involved? If you haven't learned now, you need to learn quick. You can't live on that anymore. We can't abide by that philosophy anymore. We need to name what it is that we want America to be. What is America supposed to be? That's the point of this video. Let's lay it out. What is it? What is it? Like, per the Constitution, I hear people talking about stupid shit today. This guy's live video, he's talking about setting up constitutional autonomous zones. Like, are you fucking stupid? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And the only reason you would have that, the only reason you would have a constitutional autonomous zone is because you don't know what it is you're really trying to build. Because if you want something, and this, I talked about this, like if you want to build something, you have to set a goal. For that goal, you have to name what it is. What is the goal? What is it you're actually trying to build? Then you can start planning of how to build it. Unless you name what it is you want to build, you can't build it. So that's what today is about, is let's name it. Let's name what it is we want to build. What is America supposed to be? What is the dream that is America, right? Let's see. Greg Wiles, my American dream on my deathbed. I don't ever want to have to say that I regret not doing anything. That's a great dream. That is a great dream. Actually, that is my biggest fear, is that I will die with regrets of things I did not do, that I wanted to do. That is more a fear than that I will regret things I have done. I do not regret the things I have done. Only those that I wish I had. So let's see. Robin Parkhurst, I said I would not stand by and watch a bad cop kill someone and video it. I would have intervened. Absolutely. And as we should. We all should be doing that. So that's the thing, right? With the police state, when we're talking about a police state, that is what we have now. We currently have, and this is not, not some ANTIFA, inspired agenda. It's just fact. We have a police state. We have way too much law enforcement in this country, which is only created because we are too damn lazy. We are too uninterested in what's going on. And that's by design. Don't get me wrong. I'm not calling anyone out here and saying, oh, you lazy piece of shit. That is by design. Psychiatry has been pushing that agenda. The government has been pushing that agenda for a long damn time. That is 100% created. You have been designed and programmed. All of us have for that. Even the idea of I'm just gonna pay attention to me. I'm just gonna provide for me and my family. That's created. Look back through TV. Like, guys, it's been pumped into our minds for decades. Decades. It is created. So, what do we got here? Roger Reynolds. What up from South Carolina? Welcome from South Carolina. Let's see. Well, for me, the American dream would be the pursuit of happiness. Okay, good. To live your life the way you see fit, to be able to have your own opinions and not have your government censor you. Absolutely. To work your ass off, chasing your dream. Yep. Having a nation of many nationalities, many religions, many races and backgrounds living together in peace. That's my opinion. Much love. Awesome opinion. I love it. And that, again, we go back to the melting pot, right? The idea of the melting pot, right? The melting pot, and think about this analogy, right? Why is it called the melting pot? Because you throw a bunch of shit in there, you crank up the heat, and the garbage burns off, and you're left with unity, right? Unity. Now, in some aspects, we're not totally a melting pot. People shouldn't have to totally give up who they are and what they're about, but they do need to integrate somewhat to America. You need to speak the language. If you're going to be here, you don't need to speak it as your only language. If you want to keep some of your culture, cool, but you need to be able to interact. You need to be able to relate to others. To some degree, you need to be able to work out with other people in this country. If you can't speak English, American English, not the Queen's English. If you can't speak American English, you should not be allowed citizenship. Bottom line, right? That's one of the first things. You should know American history. And actually, sadly enough, in this country, legal immigrants know history better than somebody graduating high school. That's the truth. They know more about the Constitution and American history than somebody who is graduating high school today. Just a sad fact. And when you graduate college or high school, you should know this basic stuff. When you graduate elementary school, you should know this stuff. So you should know to work hard. You should know some basics of building a business, of working hard. We need to return to the era of the mom and pop. We need to get rid of these box stores. Completely stop shopping there. As much as we can. We need to return to that. That is the only way we restore this country is in that way. Corey McAbeer, Josh, get to me when you can, but what are your thoughts on two U.S. constitutions, i.e. when the Bar Association and attorneys took over law, the wording that was changed in the original constitution to suit the Bar Association? I, for the life of me, can't remember the but Bar British Association. British. Oh man, I forget too. However, truly broken away from the British Union. I know this is in depth, but what are your thoughts? Actually, and it's a great thing. I think and here's the thing, right? If we do the things we need to do, if we get back involved in legislation, if we get back involved in representing our communities, if we get back involved in politics and the community in general, we're going to get rid of a lot of these laws. When we get rid of a lot of these laws, we have no need for lawyers. It's by design. We need lawyers. Think of this right now. A lawyer is meant to represent you if you're too incompetent, too mentally unfit to represent yourself. Now, what a great idea, right? Just business model thinking here. What a great idea to create laws so complex that everyone is unfit to represent themselves. Think about that. That's what has happened, right? You can't defend yourself. You can't protect yourself. The cops need to do it. And then you can't defend yourself. It's an amazing catch-22 1984 situation that we have created and we have allowed to be created. That's the sad part. We have to get involved again, guys. I posted this the other day. It was Benjamin Franklin's cartoon drawing that he did for, I believe it was for the French and Indian War that they were actually fighting, and it didn't catch hold, didn't take notice then. It got resurrected during the Revolution, and it was the join or die. We are at that point again where we need to join up or we will die. It is to that degree again, and we have to do it. We have to name what we want, right? This was the Declaration of Independence. This was what that was during the Revolution. They named what they wanted. It's already been written. We just need to restore it. And we need to think about what it actually is. What is it really? What is America, right? All right, I'm going to move on. Let's see. Michelle Brenner, I have the right to pursue happiness. I am not entitled to it. That is 100% correct. You are not guaranteed happiness. You are not guaranteed it. You work for it, you earn it, and you can have it. Welcome to America. Stacy and Joe, exactly. But there would be that situation where you would need to have force unless a criminal is willing to stop when asked and not try to attack you or reoffend. If everyday average Joes are upholding the law, criminals would have to change for a new system to work. Yeah, criminals would have to change. But if everybody had a gun, imagine that. If everybody was practicing their Second Amendment rights, if everybody had a gun, how many criminals do you think would bother trying some of the crap they try? If everybody had a gun. Guns are the best deterrent for violence ever created. Yeah, criminals are always going to have guns. They're always going to have the meanest, baddest, nastiest weapon they can possibly get their hands on. They're going to. That is the idea. That is part of the reason why we are supposed to as well. We're supposed to have weapons. It's what keeps law and order. Us being armed keeps law and order, not police. If somebody breaks into your house, I've said this before, if somebody breaks into your house, all the police are going to do is come clean up the body and perform the rape kit. That's all they're going to do. They're not going to stop it. That's your job. That's your job to stop that. It's not theirs. Let's see. Wet 'em up, Mike. Abolish taxes, abolish welfare and Section 8, etc. We should all be able to have a comfortable life with decent jobs and not being taxed for owning things. Yes, we need to get rid of a lot of the taxes. Like, don't get me wrong, I do think we need a military force. I do. But to the size that we have in the day of nuclear weapons is ridiculous. We do not need the military to be as large as it is. I'm not saying get rid of it. It just doesn't need to be that freaking large. Like, especially in the day and age when you can go knock off the leader of a terrorist organization with a drone. Like, you just send in a tactical team and knock them out with a drone. You don't need hundreds of thousands of people in the armed forces. That's not a thing. It's really not. Abolish the dirty politicians act. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see. What else do we got here? Oh, this is interesting. Bruce Longton Jr., welcome. Anyone listen to Rushbo today? Lady from Seattle area took down her American flag because she's afraid and not willing to die for it. Well, I am. How long do the capable stay idle? It's a damn good question. That's a damn good question. That's what we are trying to help with here. We are trying to inspire, because one of the problems that I have noticed is that conservatives are conservative. It's weird how that works. I'm guilty of it just the same. We like to sit and we like to take care of ours, right? Take care of ourselves and our families, maybe out into our communities, but not often do we reach beyond that. And we need to start fixing that. And honestly, just to make the little tag here, that is what the AR2 Patriot Network is about, guys. It's about reaching out. It's about taking that extra step out into the community. It's about starting to build something, building a conservative community. They don't need to all be conservatives in there. You can have your Democrats in there as well, so long as they act conservatively, so long as they want conservative government, so long as they want this dream of what America is supposed to be. If they don't want that, then they're enemies of the state, and quite frankly, they need to be re-educated. I hate that term though, re-educated. It sounds so Nazi. Yeah, and we're not going for that kind of thing, but they need to be educated, quite frankly. Let's just put it that way. They're uneducated. That's how they came to those ideals. They're not informed of American history. They're not informed of world history. You can't be for socialism and communism and have any idea about history. The two don't go together. If you knew what had happened with communism and socialism, every fucking time it's been tried, you can't be for it. It is an impossibility, unless you're just that stupid to believe, oh, well, they got it wrong every other time, I'll get it right this time. That's idiotic. Let's see. Nicole Ferguson, I love this. Thank you. I miss my daily dose of Josh. I need to continue to educate myself and think about what is motivating me to fight. Thank you for doing these. Yes, absolutely. We all need to be thinking about these, right? John Demos, America should be the land of the free and home of the brave. Sadly, we seem to be left with land of the offend and home of the freeloaders. It does seem that way. Let's see. What do we got here? Patty Barefoot Trushell. If people don't want to abide by the Constitution, then find another country to live in. Then see how other countries deal with their crap. I agree. And we need, and again, I'll just repeat myself here. We need to lay out what it is. What is America? What is it, right? What is the real ideal? That's where we're lacking. How does it help? How does it make all of our lives better to be for these things? That's the real question. If we lay that out, you can't knock it down. Nobody can be against free speech. Nobody can be against the melting pot. Nobody can be against the idea of unity, of freedom, and peace, and all. And the right to pursue happiness. You can't be against those things unless you're an idiot. And don't get me wrong, there are those people. Hey, Michael Dano, welcome, man. Happy Monday. Greg Wiles, they don't teach it anymore because they can't have people knowing they have the right to stand up against corruptness. Exactly. Joanne Harden-Guzik, when I graduated, we had to pass the Constitution in order to graduate. Same here. Actually, I think it was, 8th grade, I think. We studied that. You didn't get to go into high school until you'd passed that. Test. Let's see. Nicole Ferguson, same reason that they don't teach cursive. They want people not to be able to read our founding documents, which are all written in cursive. Ooh, that's a good point. Nice tie-in. Brian McGuffin, welcome, man. One of the things that first made me open my eyes was how the schools treat boys. They try to make boys feminine. They try to talk them down, and if you think about it, during slavery, they tried keeping the men weak because if there was a revolt It would be the men, not sexist, just realistic. The system is screwed from the very start, and if I die before I can help change it, then that will be my biggest regret. I believe in the cause and pray that the U.S. will soon realize the truth before it's past due. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is part of the idea, right? So, and this is where I get at psychiatry is behind this, guys. Like the psychiatric influence over this. If you don't think psychiatry is an arm of the cabal or whatever you want to call them, these extreme leftist agenda people that are trying to destroy our country, whatever name you want to give them. I think cabal is the most used currently. If you don't think psychiatry is an arm of that, you're blind. You need to wake up. They have been trying to drug us. Antidepressants are meant to calm you down. They've been trying to pass law that says that they can force drug you. They've been trying to say that being a kid is a mental disorder called ADHD and ADD. Like this is being a kid. This is not a mental disorder. It's being a kid. Being a control freak is not a bad thing. All of the greatest successes throughout history were control freaks. They were OCD. It's just the way it is. It is one of the things that leads to success. It is. It's a fact. And then what's the other one? And then you've got this toxic masculinity crap. They've been pushing that agenda. White guilt, that's another one they've been pushing. And they've been pushing the idea to blame somebody else for your damn problems. Blame mom, blame dad, blame whoever for your problems. No, it's your fucking fault. Suck it up and fix it. You're the only one who's going to fix it. It can't be somebody else's fault if you have the power to fix it. And think about that for a second. If you give the power over the problem to somebody else, then you don't have the ability to fix it. And I've never been in any situation in my life where I didn't have the ability to fix it. Ever. And I've been in some pretty messed up situations. So, sorry. I mean, you want to talk about a screwed up life. I came from a screwed up life, guys. Like, I've experienced just about everything you can possibly experience on a screwed up life path. And I pulled my own ass out of it. Nobody did it for me. Like, cool, I went and stayed in my like parents' basement for a couple months when I was getting my life back on track after a long period of like really screwing it up. I stayed in their basement for a couple of months while I like got my shit back in order. But even still, if that wasn't available to me, I would have gone and slept on a park bench or, and I've shown up in a town with nothing, built a life out of nothing before, got a job within a day of being there. Got a place to stay that same day. It was a room. It was just a room in somebody's house they were renting out. But I figured all of that out on my own. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible to build a life out of what you're doing. My business grossed something like almost a little. Well, was it over or just under? I think it was just under $700,000 last year. Grossed. Not all of that's profit, guys. But I built that out of having nothing 10 years prior. 10 years prior, I had absolutely nothing to building a business that can do that. I mean, if that doesn't, somebody's going to watch this video and go, well, that's because you're white privileged. Fuck off. That's because I worked my ass off. That has nothing to do with white privilege. The only white privilege I have is to work my ass off. That's it. It's the only white privilege I got. I've known black men who could do the same shit as I could. I have known many who have the initiative. That's the deal. If you don't have the initiative, you're not privileged. You're not privileged with the initiative. And why is that? Because you have this false piece of data stuck in your head that somebody owes you something for something. Nobody owes you anything. You were born naked. You're going to die naked or be buried naked, whatever. I don't know, whatever, however it goes. But you're going to be born with, you were born with owning nothing. You're going to go in the ground owning nothing. Do something in between. Make something in your life in between. Do something. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a great one. Wet 'em up, Mike. An armed society is a polite society. Absolutely it is. Fences make good neighbors, they say. So do guns. Let's see. Jules C. Brudnick. I think it's going to take more than legislation, at least in California. Places like Missouri, Virginia, Michigan, they use their open carry to secure their cities from riots and also from unlawful coronavirus restrictions on local businesses. And here's the bottom line. We need to fix the politicians, to remove the legislation, to get rid of the lawyers, and at the same time, we have to handle the judges. We have to do all of it. Nobody's going to do it for us. We have to do it. And that's why the AR2 Patriot Network is so essential. Like, if you guys aren't tied up to that, you need to be. You need to at least check it out, for Christ's sakes. Brian McGuffin, guns are not toys. They deserve respect and to be treated with such. It's an attachment of yourself, like swords once was and clubs before that. Yes, they are something to be very respectful of. Larry Keith Justice. That's why I'm cocked and locked at all times. Yeah. Let's see. Billy Goose Lindsay. You should scan the ham channels. People have been asking of supplies in Seattle. Yeah. Karen Burnett Obregon. History has been taught wrong in schools since the 60s. Yes, it has. And again, I really think because of the internet and how kids are raised today, that a new program implemented where when you graduate high school, you are given two choices. 1 year in a military boot camp to teach love of country, or 2 years in the Peace Corps in a third world country to appreciate what we have. That's not a bad idea. I actually like that. I know I had a friend. He was, what was he? I believe he was Russian. He was Jewish. And he spent some time in Israel. And what he told me is, in Israel, you had to serve 2 years in the Israeli army in order to get your citizenship. It was a requirement. I don't know that that's totally a bad idea. That might be a good idea. I'd have to think on that a little bit more, but so far I'm liking it. I mean, it does strike of, what was the movie? Starship Troopers? I think so, where they actually required that. You had to go serve. That was the only way you became a citizen. I do like that idea. There you go. I do, same Karen. I do not take any medications. I do not believe you should be given Xanax to deal with life's problems. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, how we went from this, right? We went from this weird path where the drug was meant as a temporary Band-Aid. Think about this. Like 20 years ago, they were giving out these drugs like they were candy. But they were given out as a temporary Band-Aid. You had to go to a psychologist and actually talk about your problems, and that never did anything, which is why they changed it now to the drugs are the answer. The drugs fix it, right? That became this whole thing of like, you have a chemical imbalance in the brain that these drugs fix. Well, if they fix it, then why does your body become intolerant of it, and you have to up the dosage after a short time? And then after a bit of that, your body becomes intolerant of it again. And then you have to go to a different drug, or you have to take a supplementary drug because that drug doesn't work or causes more depression. So you have to take another one on top of that. So you're taking 2 antidepressants. Like, come on. The illogic of this is ridiculous. Joshua Eaton, welcome, man. Just joined. Keep the message 100%. Love ya. Thank you. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna scroll through here pretty quick so I can get caught up. Got off on a little bit here, but yeah, post down in the comments. What is your idea of America? What is it you think the American dream really is? And I will read them off. Let's see, what do we got? Nicole Ferguson, when we were in Ireland, we met a couple of girls from Germany and took them to lunch one day because, I lost it, sorry. Took them to lunch one day because they were backpacking through Europe. They explained to us that European kids are actually encouraged after high school to go and experience other countries. I think we should do the same with our kids. Yeah, and actually, you should be taking your kids to other countries, educating them on what other countries are like. Like that is a huge failing in America. We don't teach what other countries are like. We don't do it. We are probably one of the most ignorant countries when it comes to school education on the rest of the world. Like, there's nothing wrong with being proud of America. And there's nothing wrong with teaching about America if we were actually doing that, for Christ's sakes. But we're not even doing that. But you should know about the rest of the world. You should learn another language. Like, your brain actually like changes. You understand things differently when you learn a second language. It's weird how it works. I've met people who speak multiple languages. I've never been one of those people who can do that unless it's a programming language for computers. I don't know why. I can breeze through those things really well. But other spoken languages, not so much my thing. But I've met other people who can, and it's amazing. Their minds are just a little bit different, which is very cool. And once you learn a second language, it becomes easier to learn a third and a fourth and a fifth. It's the second one that breaks that barrier, and that should definitely be a thing. Let's see. Jolene Alpert, welcome. Another thing people don't realize is that, yes, there is chemical imbalances, but food, exercise, and lifestyle can fix those. And it's a mental state more than anything. Like, this is the thing, right? You control your body. I have but I have seen guys like Buddhist monks or Shaolin monks or whatever who can literally stop the flow of blood to parts of their body. You control your body. You control your body. If you feel sad, the chemical imbalance happens, right? This is one of the things. Like, we were talking about this on the Dream Home Ninjas. We had this great guest, Dr. Keith, was on there. This was maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about this. We were discussing like when you go hunting and you're trying to shoot a deer. The idea is to kill it right away, because if you just wound it and it's afraid, it starts to release a poison. The fear creates a poison in its body that actually makes the meat taste bad. We do the same thing. Our body releases chemicals based on our mental reactions to things. If you are depressed, then your body is changing the chemicals in the brain. It's a natural thing. You can go. I've never met anybody who was depressed and couldn't go to a funny movie and become undepressed. Never met anybody who could do that. Who I couldn't cheer up. I have been around some of the most depressed people ever, and I can always cheer them up. If you're depressed and it's a stuck mental state, if the chemicals are creating it, you can't come out of it. Think about that. You're feeling depressed, which creates the chemical imbalance. It's not the other way around. It's like, and that's why the drugs are supposed to be a temporary thing. It's supposed to get you good enough so that you can actually figure it out yourself. Let's see. Brian McGuffin. I know this was probably already said, but Friday, me and my brother-in-law was looking for 9mm, and they are sold out in upstate South Carolina, along with 223. Just a heads up for anyone in South Carolina. Academy has some, I think, but it's like $45 for 20, probably because of the shortage. Yeah, ammunitions right now are massively sold out across the country. We did discuss that a previous one. Joanne Harden-Guzik, they make people zombies, brain control. Yes, that is the idea. Right? It's not just the left. It's not just the extreme liberals, Antifa, George Soros, all this stuff. Psychiatry is in on it. This is actually a big freaking scary thing that has been implemented and run for decades. Almost a little over a century, actually, is when it started in the school systems. And that was just step one. It was like the 1890s, late 1880s that it was actually started. And we need to return to that. Like we need to fix that stuff. And Again, I keep saying it. Check out the AR2 Patriot Network if you haven't already. This thing is meant to restore all of it. The homeschooling clubs, all of this is meant to be fixed with that. But it needs you guys to help, you guys to get involved, you guys to be pushing it. I can't come to your community and do it for you. I'm doing it in my community. I'm doing it here, and I'm trying to get other people to do it in other areas. But you have to do it. You have to be involved. If you're not involved, it fails. It fails in the same way it has been failing. It's going to continue. And you really need to it's join or die at this point. We either start changing it and start preparing, or we lose. Those are the only two options. They are pushing hardcore in the opposite direction. Let's see. What else do we got? Jolene Alpert, the American dream is to actually live with family, friends, and neighbors, to love and to be willing to fight for all of that. If we go back to our Constitution, that is what life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is. Yes, it is about community. It's about keeping the power at a lower level with us. Light government. Everybody thinks, light government means there's going to be more corruption, more bad things happen. It's actually not. It's actually not. That's not how it works. Like, there will be bad things happening. Don't get me wrong. No less than there are now. There will still be bad people doing bad things. The difference is they will be less likely to do it because they will have to do it and suffer the repercussions of the American people. Like, you can't come to my neighborhood and dump a bunch of shit into my lakes and rivers and streams as a big corporate company if I can come to you and shoot you in the fucking head for poisoning all of us. Like, imagine that. Imagine if we were responsible for justice. Like, cool, if I do something wrong, then I can be brought in and I have to face a judge and I get punished. That's why I wouldn't want to do bad things, right? I would only want to make sure that I was justified in whatever I was doing, that I used the right amount of force, all that good stuff. Like, that's how it works. We have to hold everybody accountable. Everybody is held accountable for doing the right thing, but you have to do the right thing, right? That's the key. Karen Burnett, Obregon, the American dream is when I can own the land I work on, the right to practice my religion without persecution, to have the right to breathe without owing someone for that right. Absolutely. And the carbon tax. I mean, just speaking of, right to breathe, Jesus, you could be taxed for just breathing at this point in America. It's scary. So, yes, you should be able to build a life. You should be able to build a business. You should be able to do what's right for your family. You should be able to defend yourself, defend your family, defend your community, build your community. These are the American rights. These are the American dream. This is what it's all about. Brian McGuffin, the American dream is a dream that everyone is allowed to have being in America. You can become anything you set your mind to, and no one is allowed to take it away, even the government. The land where you give your hand in work and are rewarded with better opportunity for you and your family. You may never see it, but you could just be the seed of something great, and that's the best thing about America. I love this. The people are allowed to dictate the flow of America, not some politician. The people need to wake up and realize that writing your congressman won't change. It will only come when we band together and make change. That's what I think, at least. I love it, man. Yeah, that's 100% it. We have to come together. We have to join or die. That's it. And the AR2 Patriot Network is just one means of doing that. And the AR2 Patriot Network, right? It's not about your community. You have to do your community. But it's about connecting that to everybody else in your county, connecting that to everybody else in your state, and connecting that to everybody across the United States so that we are tight-knit together, right? We are a spider web that cannot be broken. That's what it's about. So we have resources to share amongst all of us. I just heard Home Depot's giving a huge donation to the Trump campaign. If that's true, awesome. Awesome. I don't feel so bad about going and shopping there. But still, that money is coming out of my community. I need to focus on my community. I need to focus on local businesses, buying more locally. That's the key. That's how we're going to come out of this. Let's see. What do we got? I've been hitting IG and other posts on Facebook telling people to join. This is the only way to meet Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and other groups head on. And actually, interesting thing I read that Black Lives Matter has connections to, saw a video. Black Lives Matter has connections to Hamas. So anybody who didn't know that, check it out for yourself. Verify for yourself. That's your responsibility. I'm just throwing out that tidbit. I saw it. I'm going to check it out myself. But it is worth checking out. Bruce Longton Jr., America's freedom and liberty to do what you want, unless what you want, it skipped on me here. Unless what you want infringes on anyone else's rights and freedoms. Fucking simple. It is. It is a super simple concept, guys. The right to pursue happiness, the right to grow, to live, not the right to screw somebody else over, not the right to mess somebody else up. That is what it is about. Billy Goose Lindsay is working on more radio modifications later, man. Karen Buy Local, Joshua Eaton, do you think we should bring God back to schools after we get the bad ones out of the way? I think our victory starts with the ground up. Choke off the roots so the tree of corruption dies. You know, as far as bringing God back to school, I don't think God ever should have left. I don't think God should be forced on people. Like, I don't think there should be forced prayer time, but I think those who want to should have it. I think we should be saying the damn Pledge of Allegiance. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I pledge allegiance to the flag for which it stands. One nation under God. Oh, hold on. I'm screwing this up. I haven't said it in so damn long myself. Jesus. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. You know what? Damn it. I haven't said this since high school. Holy cow. I can't believe I am skipping a part of it. Wow. I feel really stupid right now. Holy cow. Let me actually pull it up. Jesus. I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, that's not the thing. Where is it? There we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That, you know, the fact that it says God in there, like, shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be a thing. Who cares? Right? I mean, I'm not forcing you to pray, but there's nothing wrong with believing in God. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not an extremely religious person. I'm not down that road, right? That's not my cup of tea. I am spiritual, right? And that doesn't mean I I don't know, consult a Ouija board or some weird thing like that, right? I'm not that guy either, but I believe in me as a spiritual being, right? Okay, cool. And past that, I don't really care. Like, that's not so much my thing. I used to be what I called an evangelical atheist. I could talk anybody into becoming an atheist. I knew the Bible inside and out. I learned that was stupid of me. That was a bad thing, because some people need the Bible. They need religion, and those people should have it. And some people just want it, and they should have it. There's nothing wrong with it. Bad things have been done in the name of the Bible. Catholics have done bad things. Christians have done bad things. Who cares? That doesn't make the whole religion bad. Blacks have done bad things. Whites have done bad things. It doesn't make the whole group bad. There's always bad apples in any group. There always will be, until that group gets overrun by bad apples, and then you need to get rid of all of them and restart, which is what has happened in America, by the way. But yeah, I think we need to get this weird idea of banishing God from everything religious, everything, everything government. We should get rid of that idea. It's stupid. That is not a thing. Oh, Monica, I have this stream on at work, so please forgive my lack of conversation, but I'm talking to my customers about these ideas. Good. I'm glad. We need to talk more about this. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Riley J. In Texas, there is a class on infant sexuality. It's unbelievable. We need to get that out of schools. That needs to get out of schools. I don't care. People are like, well, why can't you talk about LGBTQ, whatever the hell their letters are now? Why can't you talk about that sexuality in school? I don't want a school talking to my kids about sex, period. That's not their fucking job. It's not the government's job to teach my kids about sex. It's my job. And if you're too fucking lazy of a parent to teach your kids about sex, to talk to your kids about sex, you shouldn't have been a damn parent. It's not the government's job. That's what public schools are. They're the government. What don't you people get? They should not be talking to your kids about sex. I don't care if it's gay sex. I don't care what kind of sex it is. They shouldn't be talking about it. Hollywood shouldn't be talking to my kids about sex. Entertain me, you fucking clowns. That's your job. Entertain me. Not talk about sex. Not teach my kids about sex. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Nicole Ferguson. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes. Yeah, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed of that. Timmy Downs, should white people, I love you for this, man. You're the guy who will throw this out there. Should white people kneel and ask for forgiveness to nothing they had fault in? No, I actually had this conversation with David Lowery today. If you look back in history, and I'm gonna end on this note, because this is the summation of the beauty of America, right? It offers opportunity. That's what it offers. America is opportunity. That is the dream of America. It is opportunity, right? What did the Asians do? We'll just throw it under that label. All Asians, right? The Chinese were slaves back during the railroad. They were slaves, just the same. Did they hold that against anybody? Did they bring that up for hundreds of years? No. What did they do? They went back and kicked our asses. They earn more income than anybody. They do better in school than any other race. They are kicking white people's asses. What did blacks do? They continued to fucking whine about a condition that happened hundreds of years ago instead of taking responsibility for it and building opportunities in their community for themselves. Instead of building their way out of it like the Chinese did, they just moped. It's not okay. It's not okay. And David said, we need to do, as the black community, we need to do what they did. We can't continue to do the things we've done and just feel sorry for ourselves and just take other people's welfare to make it better. No. You need to just take responsibility for you and your own damn community. That is what America is about. Let's see. Robin Parkhurst, money has in God we trust. Kind of strange when it says separation of church and state. Doesn't bother me. Yeah. Robin Parkhurst. And stop tearing down our goddamn statues. Yes. Quiz tomorrow night on the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, I'll have it down. I swear to God, I will have that down. Yes, Riley J. There are black slaves in Libya now. Africa still has active slavery of Africans enslaving Africans. Shut up. America's not that bad. Suck it up. Work your ass off like the rest of us. Quit whining about the state that happened 200 years ago when you weren't born and neither was I. That's the bottom line. America is about opportunity. It's about opportunity. You have the opportunity to do something greater. You have it. Do something greater. All of us. All of us have to do that now. All of us have to come out of our safe zones. All of us have to come out and stretch out a little bit further. All of us have to do more. All of us have to take the opportunity that is in front of us. Because right now, if we fail to do it, we go crashing down. Crash and burn. That's where the country's headed. If we don't take the opportunity to change it. And with that note, good night. Sleep well. Do something to change the world. Do something amazing. Modern day modern day revolutionary out. Good night, guys.